Okay, the digital output. So note, using the wires, you can only do quick teaching. Okay, so in quick teaching, you can basically select the type of mode for operation, whether it is 1 point, area, or window, and the operation you want to be normally open or normally closed, and give the set point. But you cannot change the hysteresis. Okay, so in my case, if it is 100, in my case, it is for 8 meters, 100 mm is the hysteresis, factory default. I cannot change it with the yellow color wire. Please note the same. Okay, vice versa. Also, we have analog output teaching. So for analog output teaching, T2 key is used, or yellow shorted to ground is used. Okay, and in this mode also you can do the near point teaching, the far point teaching, and whether you want the mode to be rising or mode to be falling. Okay, so let us start with the first one. We will start to perform the digital output teaching. So what we are going to do is, we are going to first do digital output teaching. In this teaching mode, we can see we mostly require T1 key. So in all the steps, mostly we require T1 key, except for the last step, step number 3. If you want, instead of normally open, normally close, you require T2. Okay. So the first step is for set point teaching. You keep the object where your set point needs to be triggered. Okay. Then you have the modes, 1 point, area, and window. For simplicity, I'm going to show you the area mode. Okay. So what is the area mode of operation? Have a look over here. So in the area mode of operation, okay, this is the SP1 is the point at which we will be keeping our object. So this point will be taken as setting point 1. So any distance below setting point 1 will be considered output will be on, and setting point 1 plus hysteresis, which is 100 mm by default, the output will become off above this. Okay, so here we need to press and release T1 key for 5 seconds. First, we will press the key for 3 seconds to complete setting point 1 teaching. Second step, we require to keep the T1 key pressed for 5 seconds. And then third, we need to keep the T1 key pressed for 3 seconds. Meaning of T1 is yellow color wire, we need to connect it to VCC. So let's begin the process here. So I'm going to keep the object at SP1. Once the object is placed at SP1, we need to configure via yellow color wire. So yellow color wire, I'm going to connect it to VCC. Also, you can note down the LED ring status over here. So this LED rings also blink in orange color at a rate of 1 second. So even if you don't have a stopwatch with you, using the LED ring over here, you can reference your 1 seconds. Okay. So let's see. Connected to VCC, 3 seconds is my set point 1. 1, 2, 3. So my set point 1 is done. Next, I want to have the mode is area mode, for which I need to keep the yellow color wire connected to VCC for 5 seconds. So observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now window mode has been um, taught to it. Now we need to teach the normally open type output. So we need to connect the yellow color wire for 3 seconds to VCC. 1, 2, 3. Yes. So we can see the sensor also came out of this teaching loop, and the LEDs are stable now. And we can see our output is also on, and here also the orange color status is on for digital output. Okay, now my bottle is at set point 1. Below set point 1, for all the distance, the output will be on. We can verify the same. I have again placed the bottle at setting point 1. Now let's check the hysteresis. Hysteresis was 100 mm. So set point 1 plus hysteresis, the output will be on, below which the output will become off. Okay, so we can see below the output has turned off, and for all the ranges over here, the output will be off. Only if I come below set point 1, the output is on. At set point 1, the output is on. Now this is the hysteresis. You can see at 100 mm, the output turned off. So this was the digital output teaching. Now we will start with the analog output teaching. In case of analog output teaching, we need to use over here these steps in order to execute and teach the near and far points. So the first step is we need to place the sensor at the first step is we need to place the object to be detected at the near point. Then we need to press T2 key for 3 seconds. Okay, and after 3 seconds, the near point teaching will get completed. Second step will be we need to place then the target at the far point. Then we need to press T2 key for 3 seconds and release the key, and then A2 teaching will be completed, or the far point teaching will be completed. Then we need to decide whether we want the rising analog signal or falling analog signal, based on which we can choose. We can either connect T1 for 3 seconds or vice versa connect T2 for 3 seconds for falling edge. So let us start this teaching process and see the demonstration. So we can see now I have randomly kept the detection object at certain point, and it is showing me 5.8 milliamps. I have brought the object somewhere to closer to the sensor, almost at 600 mm, and we can see the multimeter is showing us 4 milliamps is the current. And if I keep the object far, okay, this could be around 4 meters or so, and the multimeter is showing me around 14.5 milliamps. So I have already fixed on the table a near point and a far point, and using those, let us start and teach the analog output with respect to that near and far point. So this is the near point, and right now at the near point, it is giving me 4.9 milliamps. And this is the far point. At far point, it is giving me around 6.6 milliamps. Before starting to teach, make sure your object is placed at the near point. And then you need to press the T2 key. For T2 key, the yellow color wire should be connected to ground. For 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3. Near point has been taught. Now let me keep the bottle at far point. Now I need to again press T1 key for 3 seconds. Sorry, T2 key for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. So the far point has been taught. Now I need to make sure, do I want to have an rising edge for the analog output or the falling edge? I want rising edge, so I need to press T1 key for 3 seconds. So connecting to VCC, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the teaching process has been completed. Now we can see at the far point it is giving us 20 milliamps. If I keep the object at the near point, it is giving me 4 milliamps.